Hi, friends, and welcome back to the Conqueror's Mentality. You have your host, Ave Maria
Yeah.
and Diet. And today's topic is a little bit different. But before we get into all of that, sister, how are you doing today?
I am doing well. I woke up exhausted. I don't know what it was. Like, it was weird, but I went to sleep early, so I don't know what that was about. I mean, early relatively, I say like 11 o'clock. But in general though, I'm really doing well. A little bit having the Sunday scaries of going back to work. This is my first time back to work since the holiday break.
Oh,
Because last week I was at a conference for work, so I don't really count that if you know what I'm saying. Like I was
fair.
traveling. So this is the first time back to office, I should say. So Sunday scaries, but just excited for the week ahead. But that's
Oh,
where I'm
yeah.
at. Yeah.
Yeah, going back to work can be a little difficult because one, you don't know
What
where the space, what did you leave off on? For me,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, let me remember the project that I was working on and the mindset I had before. And also, how do I continue and like get the motivation back? You're well rested, but where is the motivation?
Where's the motivation? And then it's like, well, what do I do for work again? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I'm getting back into that. And classes start next week too. So we're just
Yeah, yeah, it's
oh,
never slow. It's never
no.
slow.
I'm so excited. But how about you, sister?
I'm good. This week was a little scary for I'm a dog mom, so my little pooch she like broke her nail and y'all look, I when I applied for college, I applied for the PT program and the Lord knew that was not meant for me because I every time I run into a situation where it's blood or something, your girl just freaks out. So my dog with her nail, I just lost it.
Yeah.
I'm just in a corner, like, oh gosh, it's the end for her. She's fine. She's
I was
truly
like,
fine.
listen, her dog is indestructible at this
No,
point.
actually. Yeah, she is. But I thought that was gonna be her demise. I was like, oh God, this can't be it. She can't go
This is
down
the
this.
what?
I
Like
mean,
the nail.
y'all, like she is eating chocolate. She has torn her ACL. She's only 7. Okay. She's only 7. She's just very curious and very smart. And I just thought that was the end for her, but she's fine. She's wearing a cone. She living her best life back to the normal. So after that little scare, it just made me more appreciative of her activities. And
That's real.
you
That's real.
know,
That's real. Yeah.
I took some time. I was like, you know what? I like you and we gonna hang out for a little minute.
So is there anything that you have to do different, like with like caring for her outside of the cone, like given all that has happened? Are y'all gonna approach caring for her differently moving forward?
No, because she did it to herself. Honestly, I was
Okay.
at work.
Okay.
Okay. In my defense, I was at work. I This is my theory of what happened. My dog is also fat, not in the sense of like large. She just loves food. Okay, loves food. Um, and she steals. So she went into the game room and she went and I think what was happening, she tried to get a bag of chips that was on like the stand in between the chairs, like a little table.
Hmm.
Um but the thing is, we have put, like, these, table and chairs that have, like, holes, like, it's kinda like outside chairs until we were able to, like, upgrade our chairs in the game room. So we put, like, the outdoor chairs, but those are, like, metal and they have holes, so it's nowhere to grip, essentially, for a dog. So I'm thinking what happened was she thought she was gonna risk it for the biscuit and jump on the chair, but her nail got caught and then she
Okay.
fell.
Yeah. I can't. Not. All of that makes me squirmish. Both you and I were not meant for none of that. None of the blood.
No,
Nothing.
no, but I heard the thump. So I don't know what else I could do to help monitor her because she don't listen. Yeah,
Eleanor. Okay.
she's
I'm
just
glad this is on the up and up now.
Yeah, she'll probably have another story next week. Let's
Okay.
be
I
honest.
hope she learned her lesson, but I don't think she will because she's a little daredevil.
Yeah, yeah. If I think she should have learned her lesson at the ACL tearing. Okay,
That's fair because I
that
don't
was
know a
that
dog
one in
that's
itself
like
was
torn
enough.
their ACL. That's a but
It's tough. It is actually tough. And there's physical therapy for dogs. If y'all didn't know, very expensive.
not a
Shouldn't be.
dog mom, so I'm learning a lot. Thank you.
Moral of the story: don't have dogs.
Yeah, that's what I got. I was like, that sounds like a bill. Mm-mm.
Actual bill, yeah. But
Okay.
anyway, so our topic for today, it actually came from the Honor Amongst Thieves podcast, and they had asked one of their guests at the end, after the interview and everything, if you die today, what was the legacy you would like to leave? And I saw that clip and I was so outdone. And I sat there for one moment. I was like, wow, with us e- evaluating last year, celebrating our wins together, and looking to the goals of this year, we never actually address if this aligned to the bigger,
Picture.
yeah, the bigger picture of who we
Yeah.
want it to be. Because I think that's what Conqueror's mentality is all about. So, saying all that to say, sister, do you have any thoughts on how you would like to leave this world?
I definitely one like I definitely have thoughts. But I want to take a step back and really just think about the value of that question because I feel
Okay.
like you said we just don't take the time to see okay, how does this year fit into my story? Right? Like
Yes.
how does this year fit into my legacy? Because I think we're so caught up in life. We're
Yes.
so caught up in like picking ourselves up and like starting anew or whatever the case is that we're like, okay, well, how does this puzzle piece actually fit to the larger picture? So I
Right.
appreciate you asking the question to step back. Um, to answer your question, I think for me, if I died today, tomorrow, at any point, at some point we are going to die, what would I like to be remembered for? My compassion and love for people that I've been in contact with. Because I think
Okay.
that's extremely important for me. It's like the one on one relationships that I have with people, the people who've even, at some point I've said hi, like their
Yeah.
spirit, like they could feel my spirit. They know
Mhm.
how much I cared for the people. Um, that I called friends, that I've called acquaintances, whatever the case is. So that's one. And then the other thing I would definitely say is I would love to be known for my voice.
Mm.
Um, I think more and more in the rooms that I've started to enter, a lot of people say that my voice has power and not just like on a like, "Oh, I can make decisions," or whatever the case is, right? But, like, just in general when I speak because I'm so small, the power that my voice carries.
That's not
Yeah,
easy.
but I actually like that in the sense that I can command a space, right? Like, I would like to be known for my demeanor and the way in which I use my voice. Everything comes out of it with intention.
Yes.
So, like, even though, like, I'm small, there's still a lot of power behind what I say. Because I think a lot of times in my past, I very much shrunk in myself because I am small.
Mm.
And so not allowing myself to be like, just because I'm small in stature doesn't mean my voice or my impact has to be.
Mm.
Um, and then the last one is just, like, my smile.
Oh,
I've always, like I would love to be known for the joy that I've had and we can come back to this point later in this conversation, but it's been so long for me to like return to my joy.
mm.
Um And I really missed that side of me. I really missed how playful I was and how like goofy and low key unserious I am as a person.
Mhm.
Um, of course, serious when I need to be, but I like as a kid, I was a very joyful kid. Like
Mhm.
I was weird, I was strange, I was goofy, but like my smile definitely commanded like when I smiled, you felt my joy. Um,
Mhm.
yeah. So those are the three things. That was a lot. So I'm gonna stop talking.
I don't think that's the lie. And I feel like you're well on your way to majority of those things. Like, I think when it comes to your voice in the sense, it's not it's you're a small human being and you can command a space. It's the words that come out of your mouth
Yeah.
are very calculated and very intentional. So that's what makes it powerful. Not because you're not yelling, and I don't want that to be a thing, like, it's not
Oh no,
that, it's
I don't. Mm-mm.
strictly the power in the words that you
I'm
use
saying.
and the
Mm-hmm.
intention and then the timing. You're very good at timing. So, it's not like I'm trying to say and express myself at any point in time. You wait, and then you be like and when it's, like, almost when everybody hasn't thought about every calculation, you're like, "Okay, well, this is what we should do." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. That makes sense. I don't know why we just start with that." It's fine. We've already went through 7 different scenarios, but you had the idea the whole time. Fine, fine. But I think it's that in the sense, and I think you're a joyful person. Like, I think you're playful. I think, you're playful in the sense that, it may be different than when you were a child. So I don't want you to think you're not that because they're not similar. It's just it's different.
I think that comment more so comes from a place of healing,
Okay.
right? Like, not to say that I've suppressed my childhood joy, but it's more so like I've suppressed my joy in a relationship, if that makes sense, in the relationships that was in. And so, from a place of healing, and one thing like currently now in the space that I'm in is like being unapologetically joyful, even if my joy causes discomfort. Um,
I see. I see what you're saying. Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cause
no,
like, as
that's
a child, I did not care if I was, like, you know how many times, like and granted, of course, there's time and a space to express joy, but, like, I legit we would be, like, I don't know, doing the Pledge of Allegiance or, like, praying, and I'd just be, like, smiling. They're like, "Rhea, this is a serious moment." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Like, I
mhm.
was just like, I we're praying, but I'm still happy. Like, why
Yeah.
can't And so, like, I think there were as a kid, I was just unapologetically joyful and wouldn't shrink my joy at the discomfort of others. And for so long, I have done that it's like I would want to be remembered by like being
Joyful.
even in the midst of trials, even in the midst of, like going through things, not to say that I'm like unrealistically positive, because I think there's a difference between positivity and joy,
Yeah.
but it's like in the midst of trials, I'm still joyful. Like I still have a way about me to still appreciate the good that God has done, appreciate the good that is in my life, and still find joy in that.
I think everything you're asking for is one description, but you're
Okay.
breaking it out to multiple. Because what I hear is you don't want to be known as a person that shrunk. You
Mm.
want to be a person that was true to themselves,
Oh, balance.
a person that was unapologetic, and a person that was bold. And that's it.
I like that. I like that.
Because because whether it's the voice, whether it's your joy, you just don't want to shrink.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. And I'm interested because I want to go to you,
Mhm.
but I want us to pin the question of how are you perceived now versus how are you perceived? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do people view you right now versus when you leave this earth? how you want to be seen. So I want to talk about those differences.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I see what you're
Okay.
saying.
'Cause I was like, I think there's a little,
Something
yeah,
there.
there's something there. But
I
we're
get you.
gonna
I
go to
get you.
you.
Okay. For me, I I want to be known as kind
Mm.
and like a kind, patient person. Meaning, like, if I've seen somebody, like people I don't even know, just be like, "Hey, I just met this girl, and I just felt like she was a good person." Like, I just want to be known as a good person. I mean, I've sat with this question for a little
I
bit,
was
but I
about to
think
say you had this question in advance, and I
I
was like,
did. I did, but I just my thing is it's so many different things, but I just wanna be impactful in other people's life. If it sums it up. I just wanna be impactful, and I just wanna have that experience. I think everybody has that experience where they had an influence of somebody that passed away and they know their impact. And for me, it was my grandma. And I feel like if I'm anything less than her impact, it wasn't
mm,
giving,
it ain't it. Yeah.
So, like, I'll give y'all an example. At her funeral, there was two people who came up to me, and one person came up to me, and they had met her earlier, not that week, but probably a month beforehand, one time,
Wow.
and they were at her funeral.
At her
W
funeral.
And they were like, "She affected my life in that one moment."
Yeah.
I'm like, "If that ain't if that ain't it, I don't know what is." So I just wanna be that. I don't wanna be too much, I don't wanna be too less, I just wanna be at the right time, at the right place, with the right
Yeah.
person all the time,
All the time. Yeah.
you know?
Ooh.
That.
Wow. That's an amazing. I'm sitting with the thinking of the your grandmother
Mhm.
and the power that she has to be able to, like, wow,
Yes.
that's amazing for
Yeah,
somebody
it
after one encounter to be at her funeral.
and I'm sitting there like she made best friends everywhere, that's why I would lose her. I mean, that was before tracking devices were a thing, they should have, because it was many of times I've lost my grandma.
About to put an Apple tag on grandma.
Because how you gonna come home at 16 and be like, "Yeah, I lost my grandma somewhere in Walmart." I've went everywhere. It's
That's
only
true.
been 3 hours. I can't find her. Okay? So, but she was always making friends, and she was always
Yeah.
so kind, so patient. It was just something about her that drew people. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, I wanna be that. I think
It's
that'll be nice.
it's interesting you say that because even as like you're going through your discovery journey of like returning to your joys and the things that have like you shifting
Mhm,
as a person and your growth journey, you are in a moment of like letting things go.
mhm,
And I think in letting things go, you're like exactly where you need to be at the right time because when you were holding on to things, it's like you're almost charting your a path that wasn't designed for you. And
yes.
so now you're like literally like at the right moments, you're meeting the right people, whether it's at, I don't know, when you go to the gym or whatever the case is, right? Like you're
Mhm,
meeting the right people at the moments because you have learned to let go. And
yes.
I think it's it's beautiful to see that unravel because
Mhm,
I remember how like almost anxious you were that it's like, okay, am I in the right space? Am I doing the right things? Am I da da da
yeah,
da da? And it's like, be still. You're gonna be exactly where you need to be. And it's beautiful seeing that blossom out of you. And then I want to also respond to the kindness piece. It's so funny, and this kind of like this is perhaps bleeding into the second question that I had like brought up, but it's funny you say that like you want to be known for your kindness because I think that's like immediately what a lot of people
think
see
of me,
you
yeah,
as.
see it, yeah.
Yes, right? And I mean, I think some people take it to a whole other degree of like naivety or whatever the case is, but like
Yeah,
at the core, it's like listen, y'all, if somebody has an issue with Naya, it's more like you're the problem. Like, it's not
Yeah.
Naya's the problem. Like, that's typically how a lot of people have viewed it. It's like, "Oh, they don't like Naya, so then what's wrong with you?" Like, because
Yeah.
all Naya is kind. Like,
Mhm.
she gives, she shows up. She's like, "Oh, hey, guys." Like, "Oh, how are you doing? How's so and" like, you remember details. You remember exactly what people are
Yeah.
wearing the first time you see them. Like, you're kind.
Yeah.
You're also intentional.
Mhm. Yeah. And I think I don't wanna lose that because in this journey, that's been my biggest fear, and one of our pro fights made that comment to me. She's like, "I want you to learn how to stand up for yourself before you lose your kindness."
Mm,
Because she's like,
that's powerful.
if you continue at this rate that you're going, in the
You're gonna
sense
lose your
of
confidence.
not being able to take care of yourself, not creating boundaries, you're gonna become bitter.
Mm,
And if you become bitter, you're gonna lose this, and it's such a beautiful essence of yourself. I need you to fix this now. And I was like, "You know what?" And she said that she's like, "I don't have," and she was very transparent. She's like, "I don't have time to fix it. If I could, I wanna fix it right now."
good. Yeah.
But she's like, "I need you to do this for me." I said, "You know what? You're right. You're right." And I think that's what's the beauty of it, and, like, it just is what I needed to hear at
To
that moment.
hear. I think 2 things. One, like, how powerful it is to have somebody in there in your life that is able to see you at your core and
Mhm,
ensure you don't stray from it
mhm.
and,
Yeah.
like, give you the right, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think
Mhm.
that's a blessing because not a lot of people have the right people to do course correction in their life.
Yes. Yes. And
Yeah.
be hon and not do damage, because a
Yeah.
lot of people do course correction, let's be honest.
In a
They
damaging way.
influence, but they damage you.
Yeah.
But and
Yeah.
for people like me who's kind, they take whatever that
You'll take that to heart.
and they will make the correction,
Yeah.
and it damages them.
Yeah.
'Cause
Mm.
again, you're being kind. You assume that the other person is being kind also,
And being kind also. Yeah.
and they have the right intentions, and what they're saying is true because when it comes to situations, you're always reevaluating yourself first and then
Mhm.
others, second. So you're like, "Okay, well, maybe they were right," like, "Let me just make this adjustment because I don't want," maybe they were the ones who were willing enough to come up to me and tell me. So therefore, like, it's all of these little different things in your head, but it's all about that discernment. So I think I'm learning that
Mhm.
aspect of it.
Mm. My second, like, I had a follow-up question was,
Mhm.
how did you course correct? Like, how did you ensure that you preserved your kindness?
Yeah. To be honest, it's it. I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know. I think it was a period of time, a decent period of time. And I feel like you've always been there during those moments of shifts, from like college SSI
Yeah.
days
Yeah.
to like,
Yeah.
it's
Smooth
just
transitions even, but yeah.
bro. Yes. So that's going way back. I think it was anger. Each of these times that I made those transition, it was always anger because I'm
Mm.
like, how is this happening? And why are people not nice? And what is this happening? And does no one follow the golden rule anymore? Because that should be a thing. I was taught that was a thing.
Yeah.
And no
No,
one
that's
else was
real.
taught that. And all of these things. And I came to the conclusion this last year is that first of all, you don't know what other people are dealing with. And I always think about that. But also, just because I don't know what they're dealing with doesn't mean I have to take on their weight.
Mm. Yes. Yes. Oh, that's gonna,
And
yeah.
so and so I think that's what the game changer. If I were to look back,
Mm.
I used to be like, okay, they're going through something. Okay, let me handle all of this by myself. Let me
Mm,
take on their baggage and really what the feelings I have for them. So I was really being, if I was giving an example here, basically I was holding the cross, walking to my death. Like that's kind of
yeah,
example of it. It's
yeah,
just kind of like I'm holding on to their baggage and people are like, you know,
yeah,
they're throwing their concerns, their weight, their trauma, their pain on me because why? I'm being so kind.
yeah,
And even though it's heavy, I'm getting angry by it,
yeah,
and I'm getting more and more angry by it. And not like I'm using this example. It's kind of or this analogy or this, yeah. It's kind of interesting how once I got to the place of where I'm supposed to stick the cross at, not to say I'm like Jesus, but I'm using this analogy. We are here. So stick the
you're
cross at.
committed.
Only thing I could do was call out to God.
Mm. You could
So
literally only give it to God.
and because could not the questions that I had were never gonna get answered. Why is this happening?
Mm,
Why are people like this? Why am I
yeah,
not good enough? None of these questions are being answered.
mm,
And so then I was like, you know what? I just gotta let it go. I gotta let it go because you know what? Maybe this was not my journey.
yeah.
Maybe
It
this
wasn't. It
wasn't
wasn't
it.
your. It wasn't your burden to carry, though.
It was not my burden to carry. And honestly, it wasn't my right to be angry either.
Mm,
So it's
yeah,
kind of like that moment where Jesus was like, "Lord, please forgive them, for they know not what
they
they
know
have
not
done."
what they do. Hmm.
And it's kind of
Yeah,
like that. It's just like they don't know the damage you have done to me,
yeah.
but I gotta forgive you anyway.
Anyway, that's
Because
hard.
you know what? Not every thing has to be addressed to that person.
Yep, yep. Like,
And
yeah,
and
yeah.
I have to release that. I gotta let this go because you know what? First of all, the conversation is not gonna work out.
It's
Let's be
not
honest.
gonna work out.
Because I'm stewing on something that you don't even remember.
That you don't remember, that you don't know that you did. Mm-mm. There is no point in having the conversation then. Hmm.
Yes. So
Mm,
after I say that, that happened a lot. I mean, multiple
yeah, I mean,
relationships.
God's gonna like hit you in the face multiple times. So he's like, "Did you get it yet? Did you get it yet? You didn't
We
get
had
it? All right, let's repeat."
we had 27 years of my life of this. But
Yeah.
also, you know what else that has helped me? And this is different from the analogy. It's my first act of kindness when I was in second grade. This is a story
Mhm.
time.
Okay, I love story time.
Mhm. When I was in second grade, there's this kid, don't know his name. I could picture his face and everything. Just can't remember his name. I don't even know why, but he would show up to school with the same clothes on,
Mm,
and it had the same mustard stains, the same dirt, the same everything, and he smelled, and
mm,
everybody knew he smelled. In the
yeah.
classroom, he smelled. And I remember the teacher, mind you, I go to private school, a private Christian school. So keep this in mind. The teacher would send him to the principal's office every day. And I remember, I'm a big empath. So I remember being so hurt for him because I was like,
Mm,
he's already embarrassed because he doesn't want to
yeah.
wear this. We wear uniforms. Our uniforms are not cheap and they have to have the school logo
Uh-uh.
on them, all of the
Yeah.
things. So, and we have to pay for the school. So let's like my brain now thinking about it, the kid couldn't afford it. Like
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
parents could
No,
not
his
afford
parents. Yeah.
everything that's associated with the school, but his parents were trying their best to give him
Their
the best
best to
education.
ensure he had the best. Yeah. Better than probably what they had. Yeah.
And that teacher sent him to the principal office every day. What did that do to that kid? And kids would make fun of him because of that, because the teacher honestly, they lead the charge. And her saying, "You smell, you gotta go to the office, you need to make sure you do this," not understanding, having the know-how, not having the patience, anything, the compassion, empathy, all of it.
Mhm.
So, when Christmas came, he only got 2 gifts. 'Cause you know how the class is, you normally buy gifts for everyone, but he only brought 2 gifts, and he brought rocks. One rock says peace, and one rock says hope. I don't remember who got the hope, but I got peace. And that rock, if I smell it to this day, still smell like him. Still smells like him, and I smell it every once in a while. But it reminded me that you never know what one act of kindness does for another
Mm,
person. And when he
mhm.
handed me that rock, he said, "Honestly, Naya, you and whoever that other person was are the only people that have been kind to me this entire year." And it meant so much to me. I wanted to personally get you a gift for Christmas. And I found that rock while I was
Wow.
unpacking my house. So it sits in my living room right in the front door, just as a constant reminder that
Wow.
one act
Of
of
the kind.
kindness, you don't know what it
Yeah.
means. And I think it's also very interesting that he gave me the rock that's named Peace because my name, Naya, means peace to the world.
Yeah.
And I
Wow.
was just like, so if
Wow.
anything, he kept me together
Yeah.
because
Wow.
that rock just every time I pass, I'm like, one act of kindness. Like, yeah, yeah, this hurt. They did
Yeah.
this. Oh, that's terrible. I hate that.
One act of
I'm
kindness.
God's strongest warrior. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
fine.
It's
I could take that. It's cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It's whatever.
That's that's
Yeah.
amazing. Wow. I'm like that makes my heart warm. It's
Yeah.
it's it's nice to be able to know when that like just to hear the moments that made a person a person. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like that made you you, and I'm sure of course there are like a whole bunch of other moments, like moments with your grandmother or whatever. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like always, but like having such a like monumentous just moment for
Yeah.
you to like hold on to be like, wow, this is gonna a constant reminder of
Yeah.
being kind, one act of kindness.
One act of kindness. Yeah. Not
Mhm.
laughing when everybody else laughed.
Yeah.
Just so simple. So, saying all to say, get back to your other question. How do you
Hmm.
think individuals perceive you now versus where you would like to be? Or do you want
It's
me to answer
interesting.
that?
Oh yeah. No, that's a good one.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
well, no, I don't yeah. Well, can I get a caveat? Because I wanna say it's interesting as we've been reflecting, there's another thing that just, like, came up
Mhm.
of I also wanna be known of, like, using everything that God has given me,
Mm,
like, using every gift that I've been given. And I think I do a lot of that already, like, I'm in math and I do art and I love cooking, right? But, like, similar to what you're saying of, like again, this is probably just describing the whole shrinking thing because like, I'm
yeah,
thinking that as, like, an all-encompassing, but, like, literally using everything that I had on this earth to help people, like, whatever that looks like. So
yeah.
yeah, but that's one thing, like, you had me thinking because I was like, a lot of the moments that I've had, with people and as I was thinking of how people perceive me, they probably think I just do a lot. Like,
Yeah.
like, I so I was like, I could already guess that that was one of the things that was probably gonna come up, but I hope the hope is not that I do a lot and it means nothing, right?
No,
Like that is not what I want people to take. Like, oh, she's always doing the most. Like that is no. It's
no.
like she is doing a lot with intention and with purpose. Um and so that's also a hope.
Yeah.
But
No, that makes
yes,
sense.
I'm gonna let you.
Okay, so I would agree. People do think you do a lot, to be honest. But we think you do a lot because you have a lot to give, if that makes sense. So
Mhm.
it's not like wasted time. It's expected. Even the people who I talk to or my friends that listen to this podcast, like when I say, "Oh, I'm working on this project for you," or something like this, or "I'm working on my art piece for you," all the things, they're like, "Oh, yeah, this is I expected her to do this. I expected it. That makes sense."
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Like, everybody's like, but I mean, it's just based off of conversation. They've never met you a day in their life. They just listening to you on this podcast and expects it. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
very interesting.
Ain't
Hmm.
it? So that's why, that's why we sit here. Like, I feel like all us as license just brag on you because we expect nothing less. Not to say we expect you to do
Like
X, Y,
because
and Z, but like
yeah,
also at the same time, I think we would be more concerned if you were sitting here saying like, "Oh yeah, guys, I'm just gonna work 9 to 5."
girl. Because I joke about that
If you
often. I said
if
I'm
you
about to
was a
go and
teacher,
retire.
if you was still a teacher,
Yeah.
yeah. That's all we had
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you had to say. It's because it's
That's
so
it.
funny because like I often joke with like even the friends in my program. They're like, "Oh, what are you gonna do next?" I'm like, "I'm probably just gonna go and own a bookstore." And they were like, "I know you did not do all this work to go and own a bookstore." But that's low key my joke because it's like sometimes like that's how you know you got to be concerned. It's like a girl is burning out because she wants to just have a bookstore and call it a day. Um, but I hear you, and I
Yes.
very much I one thing that I have learned, and I am constantly learning. Like one thing I appreciate about this space that we cultivate is to be vulnerable and honest.
Yeah.
Of like not burning out,
Yes.
right? Um, because I do a lot. And it's so funny because, God and I very much have these powwows because I'll be just anxious. I'll be working myself up, like, because, why
Mhm.
not? Um, so I'd be working myself up, and God is like, "Ye- yes, you're going to do all those things, but I didn't tell you you were going to do this all in this year. Like, why you got to do all of this right now? Like, yes, I've placed these desires in your heart, but you moving before I tell you to move is going to get you into trouble.
Yes, because
Relax."
no, and that's what I would also say is you do a lot. That's the other half of it. You do a lot because you're trying to find an answer to a question. And the question is, what were you sent on this earth to do specifically?
Mhm.
So you're trying all of these different things to find that answer rather than letting the answer come to you.
Mhm.
And so like last episode or we were
Exactly.
talking about being still.
Mhm. We doing that. We did that.
Mhm.
We did that this week. You'd be proud of me. I was very still this week. I was very you ate me up. And I sat, I said, "Oh, okay, I was sat. I was still this week. We didn't do no movement, sister."
But no, it's honestly true. Like, and I feel like, I mean, that's just our type A personality coming out because there's a problem, you find a solution. You the problem, you find a solution. Problem, find a solution. In this situation, there's no solution. The solution won't come because of the fact you have to go through all of these challenges to find your solution. Because the woman you are right now isn't prepared for the answer. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's so unfortunate. And so I think that's why you're leading into your creative side because the creative side is allowing yourself to calm your nerves.
Be still. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
hard. It's hard.
But what I like to do with the stillness is or the thoughts that I like to think about it is like as you're doing poetry, as you paint, as when you were roller skating, all of those little pieces were sent to you to teach you a lesson. So if I'm not
Mhm.
present in this small activity
In this
that
small,
brought me
yeah.
joy, Imma miss out on my lesson, therefore Imma miss out on the purpose.
Miss out and that's one thing that I'm literally having like, I have to tell myself that. It's like, some people who can just
No,
live
it's
like,
not
I have to it's constantly telling myself like, I literally am in the middle of yoga, and I'm like, "Be where your feet are. Be where your feet are." Like,
yes.
I'll be, like, walking, and sometimes and that's one thing that I've also noticed too is podcasts or, like, audio, anything that's not music will help
Mhm.
me be more present than music will be. And so I can't listen like, music doesn't allow me to be present unless it's live music. So, literally, for some reason, because 'cause I've spent all my life listening to music. I mean, I was in
Okay.
gospel choir, I was in all these different things, right?
Good point, good
And
point.
I've learned how to make it background noise. Like, it's just background noise, and now I can be in my head. Versus podcasts, like, I literally have to actively listen, and I have to be present in that moment. I'm not listening to lyrics with music. I'm just like, okay, like, it's just in the background, it's entertaining. And so I can do all these other things. But like podcasts, I have to be like, oh, I'm exactly where my feet are. I'm exactly where this noise is. I have to sit and listen. And I think that's one thing God is like training me to do in this moment is to just sit and listen. Be still and be where your feet are. So,
Yes.
yeah.
No, I definitely agree.
But
'Cause I want you to know that I'm also like, even though I went through this healing journey this last year, I literally am still trying to figure that out. I'm still having to constantly remind myself, like, "Let's be honest here, you're, like, going down a rabbit hole. This is not
yeah,
cute." So
this is unbecoming of you.
okay.
Kiki.
We didn't do all this work for you to do a 360. So, but
It's
no,
crazy.
honestly, it's crazy. And I think it's gonna be so hard for us to not be that way. And I think that's the beauty of being who you are is you're
Mhm.
constantly trying to push yourself, but you gotta have that other side to have the energy to push yourself, which is the
Mhm.
difficulties. Mhm. Other
The
things on
difficulties.
perception. So, as individuals, and I say us because Imma speak for everybody. I You don't understand the power that you have as a person, and you don't know the amount of skills that you have. You downplay yourself
Mm.
100%. Like, and if you notice, me and the rest of your line sisters brag on you because of it. Because you don't know that you're that girl. We will sell anybody in front of
Oh,
you,
thank you.
behind your back, next to you, because you don't know. And so we gonna say it until she
That's
becomes
true.
that girl and be like, yes, this is what I do. Because honestly, all of these accolades at the end of the day, when you're gone, not gonna mean
And they
anything.
don't mean nothing.
But let's be honest,
Mm-mm.
the TED Talks, the poetries, the conversations, the speeches, the silent moments, the small discussions, those all mean something. Those all are things that, hey, only you can do. Cause look, I mean, I put me on the stage. I'll be fine. But I
I
can't
was
talk
like, you
about
could be on the
talk
stage. Don't
about
even say like, because then they gonna be. I was like, "Eh, we gonna flip the script because I'm gonna go to you. But
but
I hear
nah,
you.
but I'm just
I hear
saying
you,
like,
sister, and I receive.
you know what I'm saying? Like you don't know, but you walk into the spaces and you like, oh, well, this might not be for me. I'm like, are you kidding me? If it's not for you, who is it for? It's not for me.
Bipolar.
Yes, like even the program you in right
Yeah.
now, I didn't even know this kind of stuff existed. And look at you, all almost done. A program that you even think,
Almost
like,
done.
can we just start back?
That
A
was like
full
supposed to.
circle moment. She didn't even think that she was gonna get on the program. Not only that, the program opened up for her, and then she was like, "Well, is this where I'm supposed to be? What? I can't work under these conditions, y'all. I can't. I can't work under these conditions." She don't like, I'm sitting there like, "Oh my gosh, this is it. This is I don't understand if nobody else who." Then
Then
you get in the
who?
program and you see all these amazing
Yeah.
people and you're like, "Oh yeah, they're great." And I'm like, "You are too. Okay? You up there."
It's so hard. Uh, uh,
Yes.
I think it's so hard, and this is a conversation that I want us to have maybe like next week, but
Okay.
like, or sometime. But how do you remain humble and still brag? Right? Like, I think there is a fine
Ooh,
line. And I think as growing up, I've always been told, relax. This is not you. This is God. You don't get to brag. Like you're
but
nothing, right? The church always says you're nothing. And I think you're nothing without God, right? Like that's literally what it is. And so like I just
true.
grew up with these
If
are
you
like these aren't your gifts. They're God's gifts that he's just given through you. So what does that look like? How do you still remain humble and still be proud of the person that God has created you to be? Right? How do you like recognize what does that look like? And so I think
yeah.
that's one thing that I've struggled with. Like, yes, I know I am that girl, but I also know so many people are like great too. And I don't want to like minimize who I am, but it's like, yay. But like this is and the other thing is like, oh yeah, this is just what I do though. Like
Mhm.
it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm putting myself here. That's like this almost seems like it's I hate to like what my dad said when I graduated high school. Oh, that's obligation when I got to college. Yeah, because that's what you're supposed to do, right? Like you've been given these gifts and you're supposed to use them. Why am I celebrating? Why am I like, congratulations, you did exactly what you're supposed to do? So I did. It could just be a me thing, but I also feel like other people struggle with that. So I don't know. Maybe we need to have a conversation about that at some point.
So many different layers into this, but I will also like to say that in your statement that you just made, that very lovely statement, you shrunk to make everybody else in the
Mm,
world bigger.
it's not my intention, but I hear you. I hear you. So go ahead. I'm tired of this
Oh,
hot seat. We about to go to you next.
oh, we go around for round.
I
Okay,
hear you.
it's fine. It's fine. But you just shrunk in your own accomplishments to make the world a even playing field. And while the world has a lot of great people, and just how we were talking about yesterday, it's the difference between the elitist and the expert, right? A elitist
Hmm.
and an expert has a specific lane that they are specialized in and they can brag in.
Absolutely. Okay, it's the
And
bragging
so
thing. I don't know.
if
I
you
don't know
think
about that.
about it like that, you are an expert or elitist or however the term is in a specific area, and you worked years to know have knowledge and understanding on that area, or you worked years on understanding people and building relationships, or you've done all of those things, why shrink? And if you shrink, is that not allowing the young girl that's watching you,
To
not allowing
be
her to know that she needs to grow too and allow her to know that she can flourish? Because I'm saying that
and
because,
I
like,
hear
you
you.
know, you being kinda around kids, not with kids, but kinda in the vicinity. They always
Yeah,
around the
yeah.
corner somewhere. So, I'm
It's
just
like they
saying
ain't
that
too far. We
they
love
ain't
the
too far.
babies. Yeah.
So, I'm saying all that to say, like, you gotta think about it from that perspective. Like, even though you don't have to
That's
brag,
real.
like, I think there's a fine line and there's a beauty on how you do it, but there's also a way where you be like, "Okay, this is what I have done." And you know what? Like, we should give kudos. Like graduation. So glad we are invited and we are walking. Because look, that's a moment of celebration that we need to be
Mhm.
around and we need to celebrate you
Around,
because
I know.
it's
I
no
learned.
expectation. No expectation
Yeah.
for graduation, especially at the schools that you have been at. I'm just throwing that out there now. Okay. There's no expectation
Yes,
for
ma'am.
graduation. But
Yes, ma'am.
We
Your turn.
you
Okay, great.
deserve to brag.
This is great. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's a growing process, y'all. Hopefully, next season you're gonna be like, "Wow, she is bragging humbly," right? Y'all are gonna be like, "Wow, I've seen the growth."
Bragging humbly, new coin term. The humble brag.
We're gonna get there, y'all. Humble brag. All right, sister, your turn. No, it's actually interesting because I think we already talked about how it does, how people view you isn't far from where you want to be seen.
Mhm,
With the kindness. I think thinking more so about the intention of like being at the right place at the right time. I think how we currently see you is, I'm trying to think of what that flower is. Where on the outside, and it could be a tulip,
okay.
could be a lotus flower. A lot of these flowers look like this, but stay with me. Okay. So on the outside, it's like, oh wow, she's beautiful, but I know there's more,
Mm,
right? Like there's like a warmth to your color because I think a lot of people view you as warm, right? Like view you as welcoming. And it's like, oh, I'm like attracted to
mhm,
what she has to offer. And I'm attracted to her spirit. I'm attracted to her energy. But for some reason, it's like, she's like closed and doesn't allow people to fully see you, right?
mhm,
And at some point in time, there's like a moment in which these flowers just bloom, and on the inside, it is far more breathtaking than what was on the outside. But it's
yeah,
like under the right conditions where they allow to fully bloom and you could see the beauty. And only the people who could truly appreciate it can truly appreciate it. And it has to be at the right moment and the right time. And I think
yeah,
that's exactly where you're headed. I think there's moments in which you like fight to release and you fight to like let go, but it's been beautiful seeing you like
yeah,
with me, you're always letting go. That's why I'm like, oh,
yeah,
I've been knew she was beautiful, right? But it's like, when do you allow people? And I think this was in the moments of your anger, of like you were closed and you didn't even let the sun allow you to flourish, and you didn't let
yeah, mhm,
people see the true beauty. Like, yes, on the outside, you're great. And like in these interactions, like, oh, hey, I remember what you wore the first day that I met you. And like, yeah, that's great. But there's a depth to you
mhm,
that I don't think you often allow people to see because they've taken advantage of it. And I think at the same
yeah,
time, there are moments in which you have shown your beauty to others whom it wasn't the right place and the right time.
100%.
And they didn't value it. And even the way that you've given, even to like those closest to you, sometimes wasn't the moment in which you were supposed to blossom, like, because they wouldn't
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah,
And I think this is the journey now that you're trying to figure out, where is that balance? Because like
correct.
all of the things, you have all of the things. I think it's literally, as you're saying, is it at the right place at the right time? Because I think for so often it has not been.
Yeah, yeah. I would definitely agree with this. I definitely do. I do, cause I really be, I love a good forced moment. 'Cause I think I'd be like, "Okay." In my head, like, I know all things. God knows things too, but, like, in my head, I'm like, "Oh, God directing me. He be letting me go. Okay, great. Imma make this moment myself." But I really have been working on timing, and not every moment is for me, so I've been learning. I've been learning. But also, like, letting people in and, like, letting people see things, I do agree with that. 'Cause I'm very closed off. I'm like Fort Knox sometimes. Not, most of the time. But which is so funny. I think it, as a person who's so, like, nice and bubbly, people don't realize that I am Fort Knox. 'Cause, yeah, I be talking so much and I'm focused on other people so much that they don't recognize that sometimes they don't recognize that they haven't talked to me yet.
Talk
So,
to you.
yeah.
Yes. And I think and, like, I hate to, like, go this route a bit, but you know how they say, like, often there are the people in this world who has such beautiful, kind spirits,
Mhm.
and nobody sees them because they're so constantly giving, and now they have nothing left to give, right?
Yes.
And, like, similar to what our pro fight was saying was just like, there's if you don't go down, like, you hate to bring up Robin Williams, but, like, that's a beautiful,
Mhm.
unfortunately heartbreaking example,
Mhm.
right? Like, such a beautiful spirit on this planet.
Yeah.
And because people, like, he was closed off, and he probably was kind because he wanted people to see him,
Mhm.
but people didn't see him, right? And
Yeah.
I think there is a way there are moments, the discernment. I think you have to have the discernment to know who you can be Fort Knox with and who you shouldn't. And I think
Yes.
that's the hard part.
It is really hard. It is really hard because I grew up thinking that everybody was 100% good, which is the naivety. I get me. Like, honestly, I went to college very naive.
Yeah,
He's saying that to say I
girl.
had many years outside of it,
And
you know?
that's what I was saying earlier, because I was like, I think some people view you as naive,
Mhm.
which is true for who you once were, not who you are now. And I think
Yeah.
if people who met you again in those moments of our college years would see you, they would be like, they would approach it as if you were naive. But it's
Yeah.
like, no, 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 no. She's not that. Yeah. But you were very
And
naive, sis.
bruh, but but the also what I think is funny is I've always recognized what was going on. I just don't say anything. Because sometimes
Mhm.
I love playing the part. I'm really good at it. So like I would just go along. If you think this way of me, I will play that part. Like I would just keep going because to me it's like it's harder for me to be like, "Hey, honestly, I'm not that person." But than just to go along with it. And now I'm just like, it's not I'm stealing from others by not being my true self is the way I've been looking at it.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
letting them think one way and I'm just not that, or I don't know what's
Mhm.
going on. I do play like, "Oh gosh, I don't see what's going on." I really be paying attention. I'm very observant. I play a lot of, like, Carmen Santiago games, so I'm very, very detail-oriented in that sense, and yeah. I I just be sitting there just like, "Nope, I don't see anything."
But
But
I also like, and I think that's where, not to say, I think you've learned to not shrink yourself, right? Like, as we're going on the lines of shrinking, like, I think there are many moments in which I have seen you shrink yourself, and I'm like, what are we doing right now? Because the conversation you and I just had one on one is not the same. This is not the same person I talked to 10 seconds ago, so I'm confused, right? Like,
yeah, cause
what?
sometimes, like, I'll be in the moment, I'm like, "Hey, this is the thing." I'm like, "Yeah, this is what I'm saying," and then I reach the person, I'm like, "It wasn't worth it." No, like, I deem it in that moment, it's not worth it to me, and I'd be like and if you notice, I'll just let it go. I'll be like, I'm not mad about it anymore." Like, it's whatever. Some things I really have learned is just not worth it, but people think everything
Not
is worth
worth
it.
it.
To me, it's
I
not.
know.
Like, I've always been that person. I only got whatever number of breaths it is, I only got that many. I'm not wasting on you. I'm not wasting on this conversation. I'm not
Mm,
wasting on this because you know what? You're not gonna
that's true.
if the conversation is not productive, it's not worth my time. If I'm sitting here trying to
Mm,
convince you that you
that's
did
true.
something wrong to me, it's not worth it.
We're not doing. Yeah.
And the
Right. Yeah.
relationship is not worth it to me. The relationship, like, it could be the best relationship in the world.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. Now, I understand we could agree to disagree.
Mm,
Don't get me wrong. Like that's a total thing. Agree to disagree, yes. Love good conversation where we agree to disagree. Because I like seeing other people's perspective, but also some things are just not worth it and not worth my time. And I think about it because of the amount of times that I have put effort into things that really were not
Ab
worth my time. And it, like you
Yeah,
said, it exhausted
yeah.
me. So I would agree. I'm a closed
Mhm.
off flower. Okay. I only bloom. I'm like a tulip. My mom's favorite flower, which is
Is
hilarious.
it the tulip? No, because there's one I feel like that, like, comes back. Ugh, I
No,
was
it
doing research on
tulips
this
only
at one
come
point.
out in the springtime and they bloom and then shut down and they're
Close back,
dormant
right? Okay. Okay, I was
for the rest of the year. Because we have tulips in our yard. We
eh.
didn't know until Easter. And we were like, "Hi, how are you?"
Y'all just saw these beautiful wow, we got tulips. Wow, this is nice.
Yes,
Beautiful. Oh, look at that. Full circle.
and then the rest of the year is just dirt in the ground. Not a hint of a flower being there.
Eh,
Yeah. I
yeah.
I would agree with that. I'm a good little tulip. Mm. No, I think it's so funny because
So funny.
it's really my mom's favorite plant. I was gonna be like,
Wow.
my mom should have called me Tuli. I said,
Please.
"Well,
Please. Okay, so what's
I'm
the
a
reflection question?
wow, what is the reflection question for this week? I wanna know, and I guess this is a reflection for all of us, but if you only had this year left, how would you live it to reach the version of you that you would like to leave behind?
Can we not answer? Can we circle back? Can we start the
The
next
next
episode
episode with the
with
answer?
that question?
We
Yeah, I need
can.
I need to sit with that
You
one.
don't have to answer it. It's a
Okay.
reflection question. So you can reflect. Since you journaling,
Oh, even
journal
better.
about it. Journal about it. Because I
Oh,
think that it would be
mhm.
really interesting to see people's perspective. Um, because I think everybody's talking about all the things they want to do this year, all the trips they would like to travel, all of the things. But those are all materialistic at the end of the day. Like, really,
Mhm.
let's be honest here. Everything we talk about nowadays is materialistic. It's not about the impact of individuals. It's all about even the things that are stressing me out, which is Chrissy and Desmond breaking up. It's just stress for me.
Girl, stressful, but like that's not gonna end. That,
It's not
that ain't
gonna
got
end
like
the
that's not gonna feed
world.
me in the long run. Come on, man.
And first of all, that's not even my
Yeah,
relationship. Why am I stressed? So,
girl.
but saying all of those things, like those are all materialistic. But you got to think about it like this: they're all picking what they want. And as individuals, how do we want to be effective? How do we want to affect our relationships, our family, our community, and so on and so forth? And if we live this year as if that, I swear everybody's life gonna change if we live with that in mind this year. I swear you're gonna come back
I
out of a
like that.
different person. Like if we could all could commit to that,
Yeah.
just living this year like that, again, my year of no fear. So here we are. I think this group gonna be crazy powerful. Hmm. So, yes,
Yes,
if
man.
you would like to write in, follow our Instagram. You can comment, you can DM, we can have a discussion, all of the things. If you would like to send in a listener letter, we would love that. At the Conqueror's
Yeah, we
mentality
like that a lot.
at gmail.com. Uh, and we'll see you guys next time.